On today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the new DC Collectibles Trinity War 3-pack featuring Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. To some extent, a re-release of the original single-pack DC collectible figures from the New 52, although it looks like Superman's got a really new metallic paint scheme. Batman looks like he probably is the same figure as we got before, and we got a new retooled head of Wonder Woman, which was really my draw for wanting to get this set. Although really looking at it, that Superman looks fantastic. On the back of the package, or actually on the side of the package, some of the characters featured, but on the back of the package, capture the excitement of the Justice League comics with a special action figure 3-pack featuring the trinity of iconic heroes, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. Also be down on the lookout for the DC Comics Superheroes vs. Supervillains box set, which I am so stoked for getting. I definitely will want to get this one. Looks like we got a retool Aquaman head, metallic versions of Superman or Flash and Batman. We got a new repaint of the skinned Joker in the orange outfit, Captain Cold, and we've also got Black Manta. But we get, I think this is an exclusive Catwoman, and I'm really excited to get that. For more product info and more, go to dccomics.com. Without any further ado, I'm going to take myself a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we are going to get a better look at the DC Collectibles Trinity War. There's definitely more to come. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. First, having a look at Batman. It looks for the most part that the Batman is just a reissue of the exact same figure that we got before. It doesn't really look like there's a lot of tweaking that was done to the initial character. In fact, for a comparison, let me just reach off camera here, and I've got myself the other Batman. A little bit of dust, unfortunately, on the cowl of Batman here, but yeah, for the most part, he is the same figure. I would say there's been a slight change. I feel as if this gray is just a little bit darker. In fact, I think even in camera, it does look as if this one's just a slight bit darker than the original release. The belt, the utility belt, is a little more gold as well on the new 3-pack, featuring that compared to the original gold on the single release Batman. I think the real thing that draws my attention is the Bat logo. The one problem I had with the Bat logo on the original Batman I got was, for some reason, it was extremely scuffed, and I couldn't figure out why. It was almost as if he had been put in package, perhaps wet, or perhaps it wasn't properly dried and something went across this and scuffed up the paint. Luckily, the Bat symbol on the 3-pack, aside from just a little paint in the corner there, is a lot cleaner. Face-wise, he's a little less rosy. I don't know if we should say that for Batman, but he's a little less rosy in the face than this one here. Feature-wise, I think the mouth shows up a little bit better on the single-pack than that of the 3-pack. But I think color-wise, I prefer what they've done more with the 3-pack than what they did with the original release. But aside from that, it's the exact same figure. There's nothing different at all about it. It's got the same sheen in his cowl. There's nothing different at all in there. But from a slight change, I think the 3-pack is a better Batman. Just for the changes that they did in the belt, the fact that the symbol is a little cleaner, and just the paint in his mouth. Now, results may vary. If you have this particular single-carded Batman, you may not have any issues. You may not have any issues with the Bat symbol. So then it just comes a question of, small changes, is it worth it? I think the gold is a lot better on the new Batman, and I still think that gray is a little better on this Batman than on the original 3-pack. So if you didn't get a chance to get the Batman Singular or the We Can Be Heroes, if you didn't get that set either, and you need a Batman, this is your best bet. This is your best bet to get this particular Batman. Articulation-wise, his head, it would be the same so as the other Batman articulation-wise. You have the head does move up and down, left and right, although extremely stiff. The arms are on a pin and socket. They rotate out, front and back. Bend at the elbow. No rotation or anything in the hand or wrist. No articulation in the waist. And then the legs go forward, back, bend at the knee, and that would be it. Would I recommend this Batman? Sure. Again, if you didn't get a chance to get the initial Batman, and you want to get yourself a DC, a DC New 52 Batman, then I think this one's a good one to go with. I'm still not a fan of all the panel lines, especially around his head. If they had just kept his head a little more free of those additional lines, I think it would be all around a good Batman figure. Still, though, he's, I think, an improvement from the original one that we received in the single card. I'm not really sure what I gave the original Superman, Batman, or Wonder Woman, but looking at these figures from a clean slate, I think I would give Batman here a 7. Putting him down. I also really like his cape too, which is something I mentioned in the original review. I like how it drops straight down and then it just billows out at the bottom there. Really nice touch. You know what? Let's have a look at Superman. We'll keep Wonder Woman for the end because she's really the limited release. She's the set exclusive. We've got ourselves a metallic Superman. So again, very similar to Batman, the Superman is just a reuse of the existing original mold, utilizing also the new face, the new head, that was different than what we got with the We Can Be Heroes set. I still like this head much more. Paint on this one is nice. In fact, by comparison, because I'll do this with all three of them, by comparison, here is the original New 52 Superman. His face seems a little more washed now that I'm looking at the two. His eyes are much more vibrant. May or may not be something you prefer, but his eyes are much more vibrant in the new release 3-pack than what the original was. I mean, he has blue eyes, but the blue eyes really stand out on the new one. The complexion and skin color, too, is a lot nicer on the re-release than that of the original. But, I mean, obviously the biggest comparison between the two is the paint on the two suits. They're pretty much the same coloring, just metallic versions. Now, I think I still like this one from a comic feel, but from a figure feel, I think I like this one a lot more. Those panel lines really stand out. And just overall how he was done, there's the back of his cape, same cape and everything else. But I really like the metallic. The metallic gold also in his symbol here really is a nice touch. So instead of having more of a red, just a straight out red, we've got almost like a dark cranberry color for his belt. On his boots, he's got the metallic there as well, and also just the trim around his sleeves. For some reason, he also still has the imperfection that the original had. There's the original. You'll see that he's still got that little divot on the side of his face. Not really sure why. But I like the changes. This is one figure that you probably could have both for their own respected reasons. But from a comic standpoint, I think I like this one more. But from a figure, I think I prefer the metallic much more. Just really depends. That's my prerogative. I mean, it just depends on how we're displaying them on the shelf. If you're displaying them on the shelf just as figure form, I like this one a lot more. Articulation would be the exact same. So you'd have the ball joint in the head. Head moves up and down, left and right. The same pin and socket in the shoulders. The arms move back and forth. They bend at the elbow. Extremely stiff, but they bend at the elbow. No waist swivel. Legs go forward, back. Bend at the knee. And there you have Superman. A really nice update to the original Superman mold. By the way, I also still have problems with this one arm, where it does not want to bend very well at all. So I'm not going to force it too much. It will just have to stick out a little further, or I'll heat it and get the arm to move just a little bit better. Superman, very impressed with this figure. Superman, I'm going to give him a 9. Lastly, the limited figure, the figure that was exclusive to the set, we've got ourselves Wonder Woman. Now, Wonder Woman really is the exact same figure as the original singular release of Wonder Woman. They've made some changes though, and I can't tell if it's this original figure that I have or if it's just the fact that they changed the legs, but it seems like the legs, though they are the same, stick out further on this Wonder Woman than on this one. This one, she's got the legs closer together. This Wonder Woman, they're more in almost like a battle stance. I like this a lot more than having the legs closer together. Torso is the exact same. Arms are the exact same. Collar is the exact same. And then, of course, the big change is the face. It's your prerogative as to how you prefer your Wonder Woman. I don't know, between the two, I find there's still no... Kind of, you could combine these two figures. You know, if you could make an amalgam of these two figures, you probably would get a really nice Wonder Woman. There's aspects to this one I like. I like the hair, although I don't really like all the blue. This one, they got rid of the blue and they gave us more than just the straight out black. I guess, you know what, I do prefer the hair more on the new one than on the old. Now this one has her mouth closed, the singular release. The limited release, I keep saying limited, but the exclusive to this set, her mouth is more open. But I find the one thing I don't like about the figure is the frame of her head. From the side, it works. From the other side, it works all right. But then when you look right at the figure, her head just looks too fat. Like if they had only sunken in her face just a little bit more and taken off these extra sides, I just find she's too swollen in the face. The mouth works, but by having it on this more fatter face, this more rounded off face, it kind of makes her look like she's a little lost. Just a little, she's not quite sure what's going on. Also, I think something else I didn't really notice right away, but her eye. She's kind of, you know what it is? I know what it is. She looks off, and now I know what it is. It's the eye that gave it away. One eye is higher than the other. She looks like Shannon Doherty. Shannon Doherty as Wonder Woman. The eye is off. It's kind of looking kind of this way. Dylan's over here. Kelly's over here. Brenda, I don't know where she is. She's just like zoning out. But that's what it is. She looks like Shannon Doherty from Beverly Hills 90210. That would be the one thing I don't like about the figure, is just the face. The facial features are good, but put on this rounder face, I find just doesn't do it for this Wonder Woman. Her articulation as well would be ball joint in the head. And I would say maybe if you can even get the head to slightly... No, it's not even really fixing the issue, it's making it worse. She has pin and sockets in the arms, they move forward and back, in and out. She has a rotation, by the way, in the bicep. Bend at the elbow. No rotation in the hand. Legs go forward, back. She has a bend in the knee. She also doesn't have her sword, which was the one thing that the singular release Wonder Woman had. So, you know, if you still have though being extremely bent, if you have still the original sword, you can put that in her hand. The one open hand, unfortunately, she has. And you can have Wonder Woman with sword in hand. So at least if she finds out that Dylan is cheating on her, she's got the sword. If I was Dylan, I would be hightailing it in your Porsche. Would I recommend the figure? Well, I would recommend the set, because at least you're getting a metallic version of Superman. The exclusive to the set, I find, could have been better. The face is just alright. It's probably an improvement from this Wonder Woman, although I still like the face on this one. Shannon Doherty Wonder Woman, I would give her probably a 7.5. Still, a real definitive Wonder Woman eludes this, although the DC Direct Wonder Woman series, that Wonder Woman is still probably my favorite. This Wonder Woman, it's alright. Could have been better. Could have been better. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the DC Collectibles. We're looking at the New 52 Trinity War 3-pack. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned. Spot's got more Toy Spots heading your way. See you guys next time.